Yes. So the networks I'm going to focus on talking about today are pretty obvious. And as far as deciding your marketing mix for social media, it's going to be dependent on also your industry and where your customers hang out online. But these are the four that are really the most measurably tracked, and they are the most beneficial to SEO. So, next. Okay, so an editorial calendar is so important. You really are going to be putting out all these messages all the time. It can get really overwhelming. So an editorial calendar is a streamlined and simple way to keep things organized and just plan everything out in advance, so you can stay on top of everything you're pushing out all the time. You can use an Excel or Google Doc. This is actually my editorial calendar for Sparefoot. This just shows 2 blogs. You can also, and I recommend doing this, have other sheets for your Twitter and Facebook, which are going to look different, and then your YouTube type of efforts are going to look different. I recommend starting with the blog. For editorial calendar, you should figure out what's your one social space where you're going to want to be dedicating most of your time, and what's going to be like the heart of your social media. For me, it's blogs, and I really think that that's where, that's going to be your bread and butter, basically. So set your editorial calendar up for that, list out a bunch of ideas, and then put them in based on, organize them within the calendar for the rest of the year based on themes for the month or season or whatever like that. But be flexible. You should also have a sheet just called ideas that you rotate ideas in and out of to put them in the calendar or to keep them in the ideas sheet, because things come up. Your company is going to get covered in the press. You could win an award or hit a milestone like 1 million users, and that's going to just throw everything off. So keep an editorial calendar, but also just know that it's going to be rotating a lot and pretty flexible. Okay, so I already mentioned how blogs, I think, are going to be the headquarters of your social media, because this is where all your original content is going to live. And you can put some more thorough company news out there and make industry commentary, and it's a little more thorough. Also, make sure that the blog lives on your website. Hopefully, if you have a blog, it already lives on your website's domain, because the search engine site crawlers love to see fresh, continually updated content on your website, and blogs are just that. So you can also cross-link out to your other social networks here. You can embed YouTube videos and all that good stuff. So if you don't already have a blog, I really recommend using WordPress as a CMS and just have your developer build it onto your site. Then you can go in and pretty much do everything else and add widgets that connect to your social accounts, and make sure you have those social share buttons that appear at the bottom of every post that comes out, so it's really easy for people to share those on their Facebook, tweeting, Google Plus, and LinkedIn, and things like that. So as far as your blog strategy, definitely want to predetermine what you want your blog to be about. Is it going to focus on internal company news? Is it going to basically focus on a specific area within your industry that isn't already being, discussed effectively on another outlet? So there's going to be big players in your industry who everyone turns to for updates, and they always respect that authority. But you can kind of see where they're weakest. And I always recommend it with strategy stuff, just looking at your competition. What are they not doing well enough? And just own that. That's going to be what you are going to rock at. Yes, so Facebook can be really overwhelming, and they're making a lot of updates all the time, but especially right now, they've been making a ton of updates, and it looks like some of them will be smart for business, some of the newer changes. They're going to work to dissuade spamming and put less emphasis on those numbers, like your like count, which can lead people to being spammy. So, I've had a chance to explore some of it, but they're still pushing out new stuff all the time. The Facebook Insights analytics have notoriously not been very useful in the past, but I think they've already improved them a little bit. Now you can look at every post you've ever put out and see the success and see the engagement that each post got, and that helps you learn and tweak your strategy and figure out what sort of messaging is working and what's not. An important goal on Facebook is obviously to make sure your status updates are appearing in the news feeds of your fans, because it's not a given. And Facebook uses their own algorithm, kind of like a search algorithm called EdgeRank, to determine that, which they're also changing now. So it's kind of a wait and see thing. Once we go into Q&A later, there'll be a handout, and it has a link at the bottom to a bunch of resources I compiled, including articles about newsfeed optimization and understanding EdgeRank and what direction Facebook for Business is moving in. So you'll hopefully learn a little bit more as well from that detailed content that I don't have time to go into now. And yeah, there's a lot to talk about on that. So check out the links that I'm going to share later. So as far as maintenance of your account, I recommend posting daily photos and videos and just multimedia type of content, and links to other content with a photo preview are just going to get you a lot further than a plain text update, unless you're Old Spice and really, really funny and like thousands of people like everything you say. But they are good to look at as an example because they're so funny and just real, and it's awesome. It's so consistent with their advertising and everything. So yeah, when you're updating your status, don't be afraid to ask readers to take some specific action, like liking the post or commenting on it. Tests have shown that when you use words like where, when, why in your status updates, you will get better engagement.